America's secret new weapon is now at the center of fresh scrutiny, with reporting suggesting the missile may have malfunctioned or struck the wrong target in Iran during the war's opening phase. American media has made a major revelation about Donald Trump's use of the new Prism missile, saying it was likely used in the February 28 strike on Lamerd. Did Trump unleash the Prism on the very first day of the war, and killed dozens at what may have been the wrong target? The first confirmed combat use of the missile, seen as an alternative to ATACMS, is now clouded by uncertainty, even as fears of a US ground invasion continue to grow. The New York Times reported on March 30th that the United States used its new precision strike missile, or Prism, in the February 28 strike in Iran. The newspaper said it reached that conclusion through a visual analysis of the strike in Lamerd City, based on footage, photographs, and weapons assessment. The strike hit a sports hall, a school, and a nearby residential area close to an IRGC compound in Lamerd, according to the reporting and supporting analysis. Iranian media said the Lamerd strikes killed at least 21 people and injured around 100, making it one of the most controversial incidents of the war's opening phase. Notably, Iran has also sharply criticized the United States over a missile strike on a school in the city of Minab, describing the incident as one of the deadliest civilian attacks of the war. According to reporting and visual analysis cited by multiple outlets, the United States likely used a Tomahawk cruise missile in the strike, which was reported to have killed 175 people, many of them children and school staff. According to the New York Times, videos from the scene and the pattern of damage matched a Prism airburst and tungsten pellet fragmentation effect. A US official also confirmed to the New York Times that the missile used in the Lamerd strike was the Prism. CENTCOM posted a Prism launch video on March 1st, and a senior commander later said the system had seen its first combat use in the war. Experts cited by the New York Times said the available footage and fragmentation pattern aligned closely with the known features of the Prism system. The sports hall hit in Iran was reportedly hosting a women's volleyball team at the time of the strike, adding to the civilian toll and outrage around the incident. The school was described by Iranian sources as a regular children's site on public mapping platforms, reinforcing Tehran's claim that a civilian location was struck. Aftermath images reportedly showed blown-out windows, scorch marks, and pellet-like pockmarks, details that the New York Times said were consistent with a kind of fragmentation damage linked to the Prism missile. The New York Times said it remains unclear whether the Lamerd strike was deliberate, the result of a flaw in the weapon, or simply a case of bad target selection involving the Prism. It is also still unclear whether the IRGC compound next to the sports hall was actually struck, leaving open key questions about what the intended target may have been. A third nearby site may also have been hit, with local reports saying that a cultural center in the area was struck during the same attack. The United States said it is reviewing the reports and insisted that it does not intentionally target civilians, even as scrutiny over the strike continues to grow. Notably, the Prism is a new short-range ballistic missile, and reporting says its planned range is about 400 miles, making it a significant addition to the US precision strike arsenal. The Precision Strike Missile, or Prism, is a next-generation strike weapon developed by Lockheed Martin. It is reported to have a range of more than 499 kilometers, or roughly 310 miles. It is designed to operate in all weather conditions across demanding combat environments. Prism is designed to strike both stationary land targets and moving maritime targets, giving it a broader mission profile than many earlier battlefield missiles. It also features a modular, open systems architecture, which allows future upgrades, easier integration of new components, and greater flexibility as the system evolves. The missile is equipped with an insensitive munitions energetic payload, a design intended to improve safety by reducing the risk of accidental detonation while preserving combat effectiveness. Prism is fully compatible with existing M142 HIMARS and M270 family launchers, allowing the US military to field it without replacing its established launch platforms. A single M270 MLRS or M142 HIMARS launcher can carry 2 Prism missiles per launch pod, increasing the firepower available from each launcher compared with older single-missile ATACMS pods. Meanwhile, more US troops are arriving in the Middle East amid growing fears that Washington may be preparing for some form of ground operation as the war continues to escalate. On March 29, Donald Trump openly discussed possible invasion-related plans involving Iran and uncertainty surrounding Mujtaba Khamenei's condition after the February 28 strike.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
So we've had very good negotiations today with Iran, getting a lot of the things that they should have given us a long time ago. We'll see how it works out, but they're very good. Moving along very nicely. And they've destroyed a lot of additional targets today. The Navy's gone, the Air Force has gone, we know that. destroyed many targets today. It was a big day. And we are negotiating with them directly and indirectly. We have emissaries, but we also are dealing directly. And as you know, they've agreed to send 8 boats 2 days ago, and then they added another 2, so it was 10 boats. And now today they gave us as a tribute, I don't know, I can't define it exactly, but they gave us, I think out of a sign of respect, 20 boats of oil, big boats of oil, going through the Hormuz Strait. And that's taking place starting tomorrow morning. Over the next couple of days, a lot of boats. And I would only say that we're doing extremely well in that negotiation, but you never know with Iran because we negotiate with them and then we always have to blow them up, whether it's the B-2 bombers or just terminating, as an example, the Iran nuclear deal done by Barack Hussein Obama, probably the worst deal we've ever done as a country, one of the dumbest deals we've ever done. But I terminated it, unfortunately, otherwise right now they'd have a nuclear weapon. Then we did the attack with the B-2 bombers and we stopped them from having nuclear. And now we had to blow them up again. And we will probably, I think we'll make a deal with them, pretty sure. Whether it's possible, we won't. But we've had regime change, if you look already, because the one regime was decimated, destroyed, they're all dead. The next regime is mostly dead. And the third regime, we're dealing with different people than anybody's dealt with before. It's a whole different group of people. So I would consider that regime change. And frankly, they've been very reasonable. So I think we've had regime change. I mean, we can't do much better than that. The regime that was really bad, really evil was the first one. That was done. The second was appointed, and they're gone. They're all dead, other than one who may have a little life in them. And then there really are the third group. And the third group of people that seem to be much more reasonable. It truly is regime change. And regime change is an imperative, but I think we have it automatically.
Do you foresee a deal in Iran this upcoming week?
I do see a deal in Iran, yeah.
Mr. President,
Could be soon.
are you considering still putting boots on the ground, and would you do that without going to Congress?
I just have lots of alternatives. We have tremendous numbers of ships over there. We don't need them all because of, the power. Look, I would say we're just like we're ahead of schedule on the ballroom. In a much bigger way, we're ahead of schedule with Iran. We're weeks ahead of schedule. If you would have said that in 3 days we were going to knock out 158 ships, their entire Navy, which we did, we knocked out their entire Air Force. We knocked out most of their missiles. That's why you see missile attacks, but they're down to, they're sputtering. And we have a group, it's really a new regime. It's a group of people that we've never dealt with before, that are acting very reasonable. It is truly regime change.
Is Committee's son still alive, sir? Is he a part of these
We think he may be. Nobody's heard about him. I mean, he may be alive, but he's obviously very seriously in trouble. He's seriously wounded.
You had offered that 15-point plan to Iran. Did they ever come back with
Yeah,
a
they
response?
came back on the
What did
15-point
they
plan.
say?
They gave us most of the points. Why wouldn't they?
And you make it sound like they made some concessions. Can you identify those?
Well, they're agreeing with us on the plan. I mean, we asked for 15 things, and for the most part, we're going to be asking for a couple of other things. And just to prove that they're serious, they gave us all these boats. When I talked about 4 days ago a present, I said they gave me a present, but I didn't think I was at liberty to say what it was. What it was 8 plus 2. It's 10 massive boatloads of oil. And today they gave us another present. They gave us 20 boatloads of oil. That starts being shipped tomorrow. We're having very good meetings, both directly and indirectly, and I think we're getting a lot of very important